If you were a teenage boy in the mid-90s, you may or may not have had this experience at your local video store. You walk in, you start scoping out the scene. What movie are you taking home today? Maybe an Adam Sandler comedy? Or maybe a superhero movie? Didn't a new Batman just come out? And it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger? What more could you ask for? And then it catches your eye. A VHS cover featuring a young Natasha Henstridge in a state of seductive transformation, an extraterrestrial-human hybrid. What about the parental units? You think they'd let this fly? You couldn't sneak that Asia Akara tape in the house, but maybe this would be different.
You know, if you still want to offer me that free lunch, I'd like to take you up on it. That is, if you're still supporting the arts.
Well, you know, beauty is my passion. I thrive on it.
Well, the tape also featured headshots of Forrest Whitaker, Alfred Molina, Michael Madsen, and the Academy Award-winning Ben Kingsley. In another life, this would have been the most respectable movie ever produced. How were they supposed to know that they had just rented their 13-year-old son smut?
We now have a new sequence of DNA with instructions on how to combine it with ours.
They don't know how to find her.
You created a monster, now you want us to hunt it down and kill her.
They don't know how to kill her.
We decided to make it female so that it would be more controllable.
More controllable, huh? I guess you guys don't get out much.
They only know if they fail.
We gotta get to her before she gives birth.
It's the end of us all. Species, rated R. Starts Friday, July 7th.
Okay, this is all a bit hyperbolic. To be fair, watching 1995 Species as an adult will give you much more appreciation for all those scenes in between our main character taking all her clothes off. This is an enjoyable creature feature where the creature just happens to mask itself as a beautiful, often naked blonde.
I've got a party to go to and no one to take me.
Where is this party?
I don't know.
What if we took the implicit sexual subtext of H.R. Giger's alien designs and made them explicitly hypersexual? What if, instead of a trans-dimensional travel capsule, the aliens in Contact sent through the genetic blueprint for the ultimate MILF, where the M stands for monster? This is what we're dealing with here. In the film, Earth scientists receive transmissions from a foreign source regarding an alien DNA, along with instructions on how to splice it with human DNA. A government team proceeds with the genetic experiments. They choose to induce a female because the female would have, quote, more docile and controllable traits. Or so they thought. The end result of these experiments is Syl, a killer alien seductress who will stop at nothing to successfully mate with a human male. Biggest drawback? She knows with one sniff if you are unworthy of her affections, and the end result is decidedly fatal. The plot here is pretty standard fare, albeit with a higher budget than usual. It's kind of Basic Instinct meets David Cronenberg's Rabbit, with a bit of Tobe Hooper's Life Force thrown in for good measure. When threatened, Syl morphs into her alien form, which comes courtesy of some fantastic physical effects created by the great Steve Johnson. We're also treated to the occasional CGI version. Those particular VFX shots are obviously dated now, but on the whole, they still get the job done. Syl's design was created by none other than the aforementioned H.R. Giger, and much like his unforgettable work in Alien, she's a pretty iconic creation.
This is a silicone with air and then making motion, I believe. Great.
Giger read the script and he really fell in love with Syl and the concept. He's got a very strong sexual sense. This was a female version that is much more seductive and entrapping through beauty and seduction.
There's something riveting about watching an alien act like us and learning and playing on our weaknesses. On the flip side, it's also great to see how she turns the tides of power in her attempts to mate. In her first potential mate, she picks up at a club and rejects when she discovers he's a diabetic. He doesn't take the rejection well and makes it clear that she's not leaving until he's finished with her. Watching the subtle change in Syl's attraction to the male clubber is fascinating, as she goes from a sexual curiosity to predatory, seemingly giving in to him, only to have her brutally and easily dispatch him.
The
student has become the teacher.
Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen!
Indeed, this is nothing more than a big budget exploitation flick, and with that comes some pretty great shock moments. In one scene, Sil tries to mate with a man she meets after a car accident. They swim in his pool where Sil forces him to open his trunks in order to copulate, but he refuses. After being interrupted, she kills the poor sap, morphing into her alien form, a bipedal mutant with tentacles on her shoulders and back, and flees naked into a forest without being seen. Species inventively combines the schlocky fun of 50s sci-fi flicks with the foreboding tactics of Alien and the cautionary allure of looking for Mr. Goodbar. And you can bet your Kleenex that Species will become a full-blown franchise, giving us 3 sequels over the next decade. And if you like the first one for purely superficial reasons, you'll probably like the sequels just as much. If you're looking for something deeper, maybe you should watch something like Under the Skin instead, a much moodier, more stylish, and more compelling version of the same kind of story.
Wait, we saw this, right?
I want a baby.